All right, welcome back to the show. It is December 8th here in the snow capital of the world. Nathan Creeps joined by my co-host, Mr. Bryce Sports Schuther. Bryce, what's up, brother?
I feel terrible. Picked up a disease in Grand Rapids, Michigan last week.
Oh, you can
I
hear it
loved
in your
everything
voice.
about Michigan, but yeah, I apologize to any viewer and listener that you have to look at me or hear me.
It's kind of sexy, though. You know,
Okay, that's good.
it is kind of
I
sexy.
haven't heard that yet today.
Yeah, I'll give you that raspy voice. You can play it off if you do it right. But is it just your voice, your throat, or what's up?
Yeah, started as a sore throat, some chest,
Oh,
a little bit of coughing, yet body aches. I had a crazy fever where I was freezing cold or smoking hot yesterday and sweating through all the sheets. So fiance's not very happy with me right now, but she also, I don't know. She's not doing a whole lot to get me better either other than giving me drugs. So another apology. If things get loopy, that would be why.
You got the great Christmas party coming up this weekend too.
Yeah, so absolutely need to get healthy before that because folks
This
are coming into town.
This is how our fucking friend group gets sick every year. Every
Yep.
damn time. We have this Christmas party. Somebody all gets one person gets sick that week of, and it's it.
Yep.
It's automatic. Now everybody gets it every single time. And this year I won't get it because I have a wedding. So I lucked out.
I
Might,
know.
I might be
So
healthy. You're the reason why I'm always sick. I think it
could
is.
be. Yeah, I think Darian brought it to Halloween. So yeah, technically our household is
Shit.
responsible for a good portion of these sicknesses. Yeah, you will not be attending the unfortunately you won't be attending the Christmas party. What will you be doing the night before? Any chance we'll see you at all?
I don't know. I don't know yet. I can't imagine so. Not if you're fucking sick. Hell, dude, I used to never be scared of people that was sick. I'm like, oh, I had the Ben Mossman mindset, right?
Yeah.
It's a mental factor. Not these last 2 years. Hell no,
Oh,
dude.
sicknesses are real. I don't
It's
care what Ben
real,
has
real.
to say.
It's
Okay.
it's as contagious as I've ever seen it here the last 2 years. Look at you.
So you have a wedding in Des Moines. We probably won't see you because we're sick. Who's the wedding for?
Westfall, one pharmacy brother of my
Yep.
a pharmacy graduate. I graduate with my brother, so the tailgates with us all the time. So look forward.
Nice. Yes. Is he in Ankeny?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so. I remember Colby coming down to Ankeny every once in a while. So that's awesome. Congratulations to them. I am bummed that you guys can't hang out. I think we got some plans to ice skate, eat
Dude,
some
it's gonna be
soup, maybe do a white
cold.
elephant. It's gonna be freezing. So we're going inside. Yeah,
Okay.
not doing anything outside at all.
Even the ice
But-
skating, it's inside.
Yeah, there's a couple
That's
indoor
nice.
ones that we'll
Okay.
choose between. But yeah, big week. I got to get healthy for sure. There's no slowing down. We were traveling last week, which I chalk up most of my ailments to that. Missed my first flight, Nate. Depends on how much you want to get down into it, because I got a lot of stories from last week in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
I hear you saw Monte Morris. You missed a flight, man. You had the full Home Alone Christmas experience already.
Yeah, yep. Scott and I flew out to Grand Rapids to sit on a social media panel for the Midwest House Summit, the inaugural event, which was basically, I believe, kind of a precursor to what this group, the Midwest House, is doing in South by Southwest this year. Really, really cool event put on by Ted Valey and basically a bunch of the economic development groups. I didn't know a lot about Michigan. I'll be completely honest. The only time I've spent there is in the UP with my cousins when they got married. And I love Michigan. I love everything about it. So flights there, awesome, no issues. Had to sprint through the airport,
Home
which
Alone.
I've done before. So I was kind of used to that. Get to the hotel, and apparently Monte Morris is on my floor. I didn't know this, but we were chatting. I had a beer in hand. In Michigan, they let you hold your beers pretty much wherever you stand, public, private, wherever you want to be. So I'm holding a beer, and I say, "What's up?" to what would soon be Monte Morris, and I'm like, "Man, I need what you have." And he's got a little electrolyte bottle he's shaking up. Looks like he's going to practice for some reason at like 9 p.m. And he's like, yeah. Get to talking. He's like, yeah, I actually went to Iowa for a while, Iowa State. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, I played some ball there. Learned it's Monte. Got a picture. Throw that up. Great fan moment. Even though I'm a Hawkeye by trade, I did enjoy meeting Monte in the middle of nowhere. It just felt great to meet a fellow Iowan, or at least somebody who had been connected. And then did the summit. The summit was great. Sat on a panel. Scotty B said he felt a little bit out of sorts since he's not a normal poster on social media, but he shared some good insights, sat with some good people, and then had a little too much fun. Stayed out way too late. Had a 7 a.m. flight on Friday morning,
Oof.
and I was out until 2 with some of
Huh.
the people from the event. And by the time my alarm went off, by the time my scheduled Uber called, I'm not even sure what woke me up, but I had missed everything, and I rescheduled my flight. So I officially have missed my first flight
Oh. So you missed it on your way back.
on my way back.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
so
was
we made it to everything fine.
I was under the impression you missed it on the way out there. I'm like, damn, he's gonna miss some shit. So yeah, yeah. Michigan chewed you up, spit you out, gave
Yep,
you a little disease.
it
Great,
did. Yep,
great Michigan
great week, but
experience,
now I'm feeling it.
man. Well, you came back to some more snow, Bryce. If you didn't notice.
Yep, it doesn't stop these days.
Well, actually, I guess you came back the day before, but it's unreal, right? And so we went to we won't get into the game yet, but we went to the Iowa game Saturday. Uh, and we knew we were playing for a little bit of fire here, depending on what time the snow was going to start and what time we're going to try and get back. We're towing the line, and usually when they give you a forecast for snow, I swear to God, it always starts like 3 hours later than what they predict. Not this one; it started on time, if not earlier. And game ended at 5ish. Got to Cedar Rapids. By the time we got to Cedar Rapids, we're trying to make it back to Cedar Falls. Cedar Rapids started snowing there, and I'm like, okay, we got a little bit before it really starts sticking, and about to Urbana, so about a half hour away from Waterloo is when it really started getting messy out there on the Avenue of the Saints. And so at this time, we're decently close. Slow down a little bit, and we'll get home just fine. So we're going about 45, 50 miles an hour with a trail of cars on the right side, just kind of everyone taking each other's path. And
Right.
all of a sudden, some Dumbo comes flying by like 75, 80 miles an hour in the left lane. I mean, we're dark out, snowing like hell, snow everywhere. This guy flies by us. I'm like, what the hell? And no more than 30 seconds later, so he flies by us, gets back in the right lane in front of the car in front of us. And all of a sudden, you see his tail lights in the left lane like that. I'm like, oh, he's not merging. He's slipping and sliding. You see him
Oh
go
no,
zoom, zoom, zoom. One point, his headlights were facing us, and we can't slam on our brakes. But if we slam on our brakes, we're
you
going
guys
there
are in
with him.
trouble then too. Yeah.
So you have to pray to God you carefully apply the brakes. And we were this close, not that, maybe like 3 feet from the car in front of us from hitting them because they're stopping from this guy too. And luckily, we avoided all disaster. And that guy just somehow gracefully went into the ditch after going like 75 miles an hour and fishtailing it. And he was headlights first with us. So,
God, that's scary. Crazy that you got to witness it too.
oh, right. Yeah. I was just saying to myself the other day, I'm like, God, I swear to God, I never see car accidents and witnessed one. But I mean, it could have been a lot worse. That guy was flying and I somehow just gracefully went to that ditch. But I drove to work today. His car is still in the ditch.
Yeah. Man, yeah, that's the risk you take, right? Like it does suck being in the slow lane, but I don't take chances like that anymore. I've seen enough people on the side of the road that I know that it can be me. The worst one was coming back that last snowstorm on Thanksgiving. I was like, man, this might be the day. But yeah, it came down very, very hard. I was thinking about you guys because we were safe and sound from the trip on Saturday. Didn't hardly move from the couch. Watched everything from the comfort of a nice, cozy blanket. And I was thinking of you guys driving back for sure because it came down hard.
Well, I hope we're used to it by now because we got a long winter in front of us. Usually by this time, you feel like you're in mid-January. So I'm like, oh, okay, we only have about a month and a half of winter. We'll be all right. Bryce, we're not even out of the first week of, we just got out of the first week of December. It's going to be
Yeah.
a long, long winter. And our next punch, you see this, is coming Wednesday already.
Yeah. More snow,
Blizzard,
blizzard, followed by winds, followed by
50 mile
like
per hour
8-degree
wind.
highs.
It's going to
We're in
be,
it.
yeah, we're in it. And Mother Nature can let us up on this year. So never stick with us. I mean, we're in this together. I was able to get my neighbor, paid the favor, got my neighbor's Dan's driveway done on Sunday. He's very grateful. And I said, brother, we're in this together. It's going to be a long winter.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, I'm glad because like that could have been hanging over your head for a long time. A lot of these last couple of winters, but you got that out of the way right away before you could forget. So that's good.
uh-huh.
And now Dan's got to repay it again.
I
It's
know.
just
I
gonna be
know.
an endless cycle.
I was thinking about all week. I'm like, God, I got to get him back because I feel such like a piece
Indebted.
of shit. Yeah, right. Indebted to my neighbor for plowing my driveway. And I made sure I was the first one at it Sunday. got his taken care of. So
Good man. Good job.
I can sleep a little bit better at night.
Yeah, I'm glad the great story of you getting that snowblower, all the frenzy of last Black Friday is really paying off this year. It was a delayed gratification, but here we are now that you get to use that thing. And I'm guessing, shit, we've already had more snow than last year.
Yeah, we got to be damn near close. Waterloo's at 20 plus inches already for the year. So
Crazy.
it is crazy. It's gonna be if I just by the time February comes and it all melts at once, we might be in the great flood of 2008. So
that's true. On the back end, there's all those other things. So on top of snow blowing, Iowa game, what else did you get done the last weekend?
That's it. Missed
some relaxation.
Yeah, some relaxation. I missed my father-in-law's birthday. Unfortunately, I got to send you some updated pictures. We'll post some updated pictures of the simulator.
I would like to do that weekly. Actually, that would be awesome.
He's got palm trees set up. It looks awesome. It's gonna make a little Florida resort there for his simulator setup, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So week by week, that thing is coming together. He's just waiting for the projector and the screen to come in now.
Okay,
it'll be good.
Very, very close then.
Yes,
that's awesome.
Yeah, the updates are a lot of fun. I said, Jimmo, you could be famous with this contest, so send them my way. We're going to get these posted up in the air for you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. If he's comfortable with it, that'd be awesome to post on the show too, through clips and whatnot. Nate, you went semi-viral with your clips of high-fiving all the Hawkeye players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like all the courtside action you're getting.
Yeah, yeah. Quick. You know what? I'll explain that tradition because I have some serious beef with Iowa Hawkeye country, and we'll dive into that when we get to basketball. Bryce, this podcast is powered by MediaCom.
Yes. Let's read off this insanely good deal. Like kind of like almost seems too good to be true. But if you live in Cedar Falls or Waterloo, this MediaCom deal is just for you. Get 1 gig of internet for just $50 a month and lock that price in for 3 years. You'll get Euro Wi-Fi, equipment, unlimited data, all included. Cedar Falls and Waterloo residents, call the number on the screen, 833-354-0574, and lock in your 3-year price from MediaCom. That's 833-354-0574. Disclaimer, this is only in Cedar Falls and Waterloo residents. Taxes and fees are extra. Call for full details. I think this is like the best deal ever. You haven't glitched since you got this new internet.
No. I've never looked more clear and better. And Bryce, I was actually thinking about I'm this close from purposely sabotaging my own MediaCom internet just so I can get the customer service back out here and see Jeremy. That's how awesome they were. I want to see this guy again. I want this guy to serve me their awesome service on top of the awesome deal that we already have. I mean, I just can't get over how great of customer service that day was.
Not only could you get that great of an internet deal, but you might also get a lifelong friend like Jeremy.
18 years of service in the field, and that guy knew everything in the book. And most importantly, he just wanted to be your friend.
I've seen quite a bit of MediaCom lately across all ad platforms, and I think for good reason. Like they're stepping up their game. This Eero thing seems sweet. I'm actually kind of excited to visit sometime and see that thing in person. But yeah, great deal. Take advantage if you're in the Cedar Falls, Waterloo area.
All right, Bryce, Iowa fact of the week. It's Christmas season, and I think one of the coolest things in the state of Iowa is the Hanlon Town tree.
Love it.
We're gonna get that picture up here too. This tree has over 80,000 Christmas lights on that. How is that
Beautiful.
possible? How big is this tree? I need to know how big this tree is. I do have a little history for you on this tree. After digging online, it appears that they started decorating the tree in early 2012 or 2013. And at that time, it was roughly around 14,000 lights. So it's more than doubled. Once it got to 2020, they've now doubled. I was thinking 30,000.
It's 5 times more.
Yeah, almost quintupled it up to 80,000 Christmas lights. Who's hanging these lights? Is it staying on year round, or they do it every year? Because that's an insane amount of decoration for a Christmas tree.
Well, that's definitely worth getting to the bottom of. I would almost like to think that it's done in like a weekend, and that it's a big group effort, kind of like I don't know, almost like something you'd see on Elf, where you're all decorating the Christmas tree together. Yeah, if that's the case, I would like to get a live stream of that while everyone puts up those lights and do like a time lapse, because that's crazy. That's a lot of lights. I think we put up one strand and I was already sick of working with lights. I know that you put them up on your house too,
Mm-hmm.
and there's all kinds of issues.
Oh,
Tree's beautiful. I love this tradition.
yeah, it is. I would like to see it in person. Apparently, it's north of Clear Lake, so just figured that out. Anyone in the Clear Lake Mason City area, this tree is meant to be viewed by you.
Yeah, tell us more about this tree. I want to know.
Mm-hmm. All right, December 8th, weather records here in the state of Iowa, Bryce. Uh, we have a record high of 69 degrees set back in 1946. A record low, negative 17 degree Fahrenheit, set back in 1917. During Great World War One time. And Bryce, we had the most precipitation at 0.68 inches, 2009, and most snow. Wait, what? Most snow was 2009 too, 10.6 inches. What? Okay, so I must have started rain and then converted over to snow in that same day. So 10.6 inches for the record 2009, average high of 38 degrees.
We will not be scraping much of that. Well, I guess tomorrow. Tomorrow's a nice warm day before we get into the cold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I know that one of these days we're going to break that record. Did you ever confirm from last week if Waterloo, Cedar Falls area broke any daily records?
I know Waterloo did from the first storm.
What's crazy is we were up in Cedar Falls trapped, and then we came down to Des Moines. It still seemed pretty good. We got to our area, and while our driveway was covered and it caused all kinds of issues, our backyard by the end of last week almost looked clear. Obviously, it's nice and covered again, but yeah, I think Waterloo, Cedar Falls got a little bit more than we did here in Des Moines. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, well, the problem with this recent snowfall, Bryce, is all fluffy snow, right? The first one was kind of wet, heavy stuff that creates the base. Now we have some fluffy snow coming on top of it, and you had 55-mile-per-hour winds on that, and we're going to be seeing all sorts of shit come Wednesday, especially
Yeah.
for your boy delivering out in it. Lord help me, because
Yeah, I think about you every time that there's a little bit of weather. I'm like, God. Yeah, semi drivers too. I
they're
think
gonna
about those
be,
guys.
oh yeah, they'll be flipped. They'll be flipped in the ditch. I'm glad I don't drive a enclosed trailer that's nothing but a wind kite. I mean, still, as even my truck has a flatbed, it still catches wind. There's not much you can do
Hmm.
about 55-mile-per-hour winds. So yeah, pray for
Be
me.
careful out
It's gonna,
there, please.
it's gonna be a day. All right, Bryce. December 8th, on this day in Iowa, December 8th, 1916 was the birth of Curvin C. Casey Fish. Okay, who co-founded Iowa's iconic Casey's General Stores.
No way.
Mm-hmm. The
What a
birth.
day.
It is. What it is. I don't think this guy knows what he created. Had a huge impact on all of our lives here in the great state of Iowa. Born in 1916, KC is what they called him, last name Fish. And also on this day, Bryce, December 8th, 2009 was the start of a historic blizzard that engulfed all 99 counties in blizzard warnings, bringing thunder, lightning, and freezing rain, making it one of Iowa's worst storms ever.
That's a good day on this day in Iowa. It makes me think 2009 was a bigger than I gave it credit for. I was still kind of young, but I feel like I would remember this after all the weather records and what you just said.
Yeah, I was
It's
trying to
crazy.
think. I'm like, God, what was going on in 2009? I couldn't think of the 2009 blizzard, Bryce, but I was thinking of the 2000. It would have been 2008 blizzard as my brother's
Yeah.
senior year, and I remember you had I was at middle school at this time, and your schools were bringing these guest speakers, like trying to sell some yo-yo crap, something like that. And this was the very first thing to kick off the school day. Was we everybody met in the big gymnasium, and we saw this guy, and he announced to everyone, he's like, "Sounds like there's a big storm coming away. You guys are going to get out of here early today." Crowd went nuts. Okay, but here's the problem, Bryce. The storm came quicker than they imagined. So instead of letting us out, they forced us to stay in school.
Oh, that's the worst
Oh
case
my,
scenario.
oh my God! I think I was in fifth or sixth grade. I was devastated. And here, it keeps getting worse. Listen to this. So obviously they held all buses from taking any kids, but
Hmm.
they kept it to a parent option. If the parents were able to come get your kids, you can take them home. And one by one, I watched all my friends get picked up by their parents throughout the day, and I was forced to stay in school. And there was barely anybody there. You think you're like, okay, just do homework or something. No, the teachers kept teaching. I was
No.
so mad sitting there in math class. I think I might have started crying. I was like one of 3 kids left in my grade, still at school, and I told every kid because I found out what time they're getting out. They would get a note from the office what time they're getting picked up from their parents. I'm like, please call my mom. Call my mom when you
Hey,
and
when you get out there,
and granted, I think like 10 people called my mom to come get me, but unfortunately, she couldn't come get me till like a certain time, and I was so
was she working at the clerk's office or
yep,
DOT
yep,
at the
yep.
time? Okay.
It's Kasuth County, God, what is it? Kasuth County Auditor's Office.
Okay.
And yeah, I was so mad at her. She's like, I just couldn't. She's like, I had to work.
Yeah, she
I'm
it was
like,
probably a busy
oh my
day for her.
God. I cried and I bawled. And then meanwhile, this happened. My brother and all of his friends they had open campus. They went to his place for lunch break and they tried to go back, but they couldn't because the blizzard was so bad. So they called school and say, hey, we're going to stay out of that Colby's place and have a great time. They played NCAA football all day.
Oh,
Oh my God. It was just the worst day ever for me.
that's like the worst snow day ever.
Oh,
Happened on 2008. So 2009, is also interesting because like you'd think 2008, lots of snow, all the floods that happened that year in 2008, 2009 of all things. Nate, you brought up Casey Fish, named after Casey. Is Casey's General Store?
mm,
You got to think. If you had to guess, little random trivia for you, where was the first Casey's location?
Ankeny.
That's a pretty good guess because
Well,
that's where
that's
they're
that's
headquartered
the
now.
headquarters. Okay, so it's gonna be somewhere ridiculous. I don't know. Atumwa. I
It
hope
says
not.
Boone, Iowa, which I feel like I've heard before.
Okay, so that far.
It's just Gemini AI overview. I don't even dig anymore to find official sources. I just go off of whatever Google tells me. But
Okay, that's a
yeah,
good
it says
starting
Boone,
town.
Iowa.
That's a good starting town.
Hmm.
That's not bad for Casey's. Good. Shout out to Boone. All right, Bryce. Iowa news. We got basically sports here to talk about before we really dive into the big CyHawk week for basketball. And something just came across my desk is one of the coolest things I've seen. Probably the weirdest thing I've also seen. The Upper Iowa football team just won the Candy Bowl, garnering them the legendary Leg Lamp Trophy in D2 postseason play. Is this trophy legal?
I I don't know what I'm looking at still. So um, modeled after the Christmas Story leg lamp, right? That's the movie.
I have never even heard of that. I feel like I'm in Las Vegas right now looking at this thing.
Okay, so a Christmas Story. There's a famous scene where the dad's very infatuated with this lamp that looks like a leg, and I'm not sure even why it's a big part of this movie, but it is. It's a classic if you haven't seen it. So this trophy, based off of that, is now awarded to the Candy Bowl winner. Apparently, saw this come through on social media. Had no idea what I'm looking at, and it's definitely legit. Like it's happening. People are holding this leg lamp.
You think they just pass it around each week to each other on the team? It's like, bro, did you hear Garrett's got the leg lamp this week?
He's got the leg. It's got to be code
If
for
you,
something. If you
you
have the
think,
leg lamp this
can,
week.
can you drink beer out of it?
Yeah, I'm under the impression that you can drink beer almost out of anything if you try hard enough.
Just drill a hole down it and funnel a little tunnel.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
disgusting is that leg lamp? I
one
love
of
it
the
though.
wilder trophies I've ever seen.
Shout out to Upper Iowa Peacocks.
Yeah, I
Legendary.
mean, congratulations on the win.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll say, Bryce, the big news that struck the entire state and ripped it apart. Um, the earthquake caused from Pennsylvania as they snag Iowa State. 10-year head coach Matt Campbell has become the Nittany Lions' next head coach.
Matt Campbell heading to Penn State after 10 years at Iowa State. That is a brutal blow. And if we call back on Cyclone Larry's tweet after the CyHawk game saying that Iowa has become completely irrelevant as a cyclone state and it goes through Ames, Iowa, this freaking hurts.
Right? Okay, so first off, I'll get off my bat. It is a cyclone state this year. They've wrecked us in every sport. Matt, I was physically scared for the future as an Iowa fan for Iowa State Foundation
Yeah.
football program. They have a foundation. They did. And it just got ripped away from them. All the momentum.
Campbell had cracked the Ferentz code. There was a lot of winning that was going to be happening in Ames, Iowa.
I despise playing Iowa State. I mean, I despise it every year, but obviously losing 2 straight years, there were some scary times for Iowa moving forward. Now you see how Iowa kind of trended this year after playing Iowa State to see Iowa State just lose everything they've been working for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And the biggest problem with this is if you it's a guy for Matt Campbell who's credited so much for his loyalty. Iowa State, in my opinion, after Matt Campbell leaving, how do you take it seriously as a destination for any head coach, right? A final destination.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
the problem.
I think that in a lot of ways, Ferentz staying has hurt us, if I'm being completely honest. And when I say us, I mean the Iowa Hawkeyes. Um, but to your point, what you just said right there, it is a legacy. Like you come, you you grow with the program, you leave and do great things, and that's what like loyalty does for you. Campbell built something that from I mean, truly, like the worst football you could possibly have to something that's very legitimate. Now turning down bowl games, which is interesting. Um, I don't know. It's heartbreaking. I'm not an Iowa State fan. I always cheer for them if they're not playing Iowa. This was hard even for me because I'm like, man, that was another reason Iowa's going to get put on the map. We were going to have two legitimate football programs for a very long time, and the Band-Aid gets ripped off. And I say it's a Band-Aid because we laugh now, maybe as Iowa fans, as you know, Iowa State's hearts are crushed. But this is essentially what's going to happen for Iowa too. Eventually, we're going to have to move on too. I know that's not the storyline today, but it's what I was thinking of. It's like, hey, you know, on the bright side, you retool, you rebuild right now. You have no choice.
Yeah, I just for teams that aren't in the Big Ten or the SEC, things are got to be incredibly terrifying for you moving forward.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
just I can't imagine. That sucks so much. I mean, I'm incredibly happy as an Iowa fan. I love Matt Campbell. I've always loved Matt Campbell. I
Yep.
hate fucking playing against him.
Yeah, because he's good and he
I would,
instilled a real culture there.
but I would rather lose to Matt Campbell Penn State than Matt Campbell Iowa State. So this is at least I get to see more of him this year. I
Yeah.
mean, we won't have to play him obviously as much with the 25 teams in the freaking Big Ten, but yeah, crazy. But then that whole second 10 seconds later, they hire their next head coach,
Yeah. They
Jimmy
had him
Rogers.
ready.
Who is this guy? I don't know anything about him.
Um,
He went to South Dakota State, won a national championship there with
yep.
Washington State, who's obviously suffering from not being in the SEC or the Big Ten like everybody
Yep.
else. Went 6-6 this year, or something like that. I don't even know.
Yeah. I mean, winning history. I think he comes from some of the success that Gronowski did. So that's a good sign. And turning a Washington State program into something after being literally nothing is impressive. But I don't know much about him either. I didn't dig too much into it. I'll let the insiders do that part. But I don't know if you have a guy, but I think you have something. I don't think you completely downgraded to like having to hire like somebody off the street.
Here's my thing: you almost got to be strategic in the age group that you are hiring as Jamie Pollard. Yeah, you got a young guy, but Matt
Yeah.
Campbell was once a young guy, right? If this guy peaks, he's gone probably, right?
Yeah.
There's no way. I mean,
Yep.
you got to find like a middle-aged, slight older guy because
Yeah.
by the time he gets established, like no one's gonna hire a late 60-year-old. I mean,
Yeah. Something in between like this guy and Signetti. Like Signetti, you know,
I'm
how
scared.
long is he even going to be able to stay? But at the same time, like he's probably going to stay for the rest of his time.
So I don't know. That's what scares me. Hiring a young coach. I mean, it's either going to fail. If it fails, well, then you're an idiot. But if it becomes incredibly successful, well, he's young.
Yeah.
Yeah, other schools are going to want him that can pay a lot more money.
I mean, wouldn't you agree? That's just kind of the risk in college football these days. I mean, it's always kind of been this way for coaches, at least. Like you have any kind of success and you go to the top 5 to 10 jobs in the sport, or you go to the NFL. It's just tough. I think for a lot of years, Kirk had a couple decent seasons. Right after 2009, I'm sure he was highly touted for an NFL position. I think it's just kind of the day and age. And I think to your point, if you're not in the Big Ten or SEC, you're kind of in a scary position.
And it's so hard for as a biased Iowa fan to talk about it. It's like, well, I don't know. I've been stuck with Kirk Ferentz for 26 plus years, so
Yeah, that's all I know.
I don't know anything about coach changes. And hell, we had Fran McCaffrey for 15. So, but obviously he didn't leave us. We chose to get rid of him. So
Kicked him out the door. And it can be that. Can I tell you something funny? Like a little off topic, but they were already comparing McCollum to Coach Signetti.
oh yeah, the Signetti.
It's crazy.
Dude, Signetti is the best coach I think I've ever seen. That is
What he's done is unbelievable.
unbelievable. It shouldn't have. I don't even know how it physically can, or I don't know how it's possible. You take Indiana, who's the bottom of the barrel in the Big Ten, and you win a national championship, or not a
Yeah.
Big Ten championship, going undefeated, winning road games at Oregon, at Iowa, and then you beat Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. That's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
it's
crazy.
it's unreal. I'm really looking forward to seeing their run in the college football playoff. Nate, I don't know if you have any notes here on the bowl games, but those have been announced. Iowa will be facing Vanderbilt and Diego Pavia in the
Great
Relia
matchup.
Quest. So I
Great,
mean, two dogs, right?
great matchup. Yeah, and the best part about it's in Tampa, which is gonna draw a lot of Iowa fans. It's a great destination for a bowl game. My dumbass went to Orlando where there's no beach in sight, so a bunch of Iowa fans will be in Tampa for this game, and you get to play one of the biggest hotheads in college football, Diego
Yeah,
Pavia. So, and a great established Vanderbilt football team, and a chance to get that ranked win monkey off. Kirk Ferentz is back.
yeah, we need that bad.
I wanted that.
I love that we're playing in it. It's funny that you even have to say that, but in a day and age where Notre Dame feels snubbed and they reject the bowl game, and Iowa State's a little different. Like your coach left, they deny their bowl game eligibility. But I'm excited. I love watching one extra game. I think it's good extra practice. I like seeing some of the guys that are going to have bigger roles next year, and then kind of like a farewell for anybody that is moving on. So I'm pumped for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you don't think too much of it when you're a month out. By time the week comes or that game day comes, I'm full in, baby. It's Hawkeye football for that day, one last time to say goodbye and hopefully and on a great note. So looking forward to that game. Anytime Iowa plays in Tampa, it's always an interesting one. All right, Bryce, it's CyHawk week. Iowa State comes at number 4 in the rankings after one of the greatest wins in college basketball history.
Dominant.
Dominant performance at number 1 Purdue Boilermakers, winning by 23 points in Mackey Arena, which is almost impossible in itself, let alone them being the number 1 ranked team with arguably one of the best players in the country, Braden Smith. And Iowa State had no problem. So
No problem. And I think they had the largest margin of defeat on the road against the number 1 team that's ever been done. 23
yep,
points, if I'm
yep,
not mistaken.
they tied it, which
Yeah,
is insane.
that's impressive. Momcilovic showing up in big games. That's really fun to see. I saw one of the best plays I've ever seen by Taman Lipsey in the first half when they were actually still down. The
Between the
scoop
leg
layup from about 12.
Oh,
Well, that too.
yeah.
No, he had a scoop layup from like 12 feet.
They
Look,
they just
look,
they weren't scared at all. I get scared watching
no,
other teams playing Mackey. These guys just winning no problem. But this time last year, you and I were finding every excuse in the book to try and downgrade Iowa State basketball.
yeah, we
Well,
did.
we don't have any this year. Not at
No,
this moment.
no, these guys truly like. I think on record said, hey, make big shots, big moments in big arenas. You have a team that could go very, very deep. Momcilovic might be that key. Like, hey, you've got seniority now. People are going to look to you, knock down those shots. Hey, 20 points in an opposing arena. That's what we're looking for. Yeah, there's almost nothing on this team that I'm too worried about.
Yeah, Taman Lipsey's return game after having a growing injury he suffered back in Las Vegas. So we're going to get a fully healthy Iowa State Cyclones for CyHawk week. Yeah, shout out to the women's basketball. Massive game Wednesday too for them. I think it's
Yep.
number 11 Iowa versus number 10 Iowa State, and both undefeated. Probably the biggest game in CyHawk history for the women's team. So
Hey, there's some smack talk going around that the trio is gonna shut down Audi on Wednesday night, and I look forward to that matchup.
yeah,
Kylie been playing pretty good defense. Who's the gal that's hitting a bunch of 3-pointers?
Taylor
I was
McCabe.
watching her over McCabe. Oh
McCabe,
man, she can
here's the
stroke the
thing with
ball.
Iowa State. I remember last year when we played Iowa State and Audie Crooks. I'm like, if anyone just can match Audie's size somewhat, they'll be able to shut her down. We had, God, what's her name? Addison O'Grady,
Mhm.
big frame girl for Iowa last year, got absolutely torched by Audie Crooks. So Audie Crooks, in my opinion, reminds me of like a little bit of Luca Garza. Anytime the ball touches her hands down to the paint, it's going in the hoop. You're not stopping it.
Yep.
So I don't know how you stop it. Iowa has pretty damn good size this year for the female team. Iowa's got a lot of weapons. It's gonna be a fun game. It's gonna be
Yeah,
all
no.
around awesome atmosphere and
Yeah,
great.
definitely don't sleep on that before Thursday night's matchup.
I think it's the biggest game in college women's basketball this year so far. There's no doubt about it. So looking forward to that. That'll ultimately tee us up for the men's game the following night. So yes, I made my way down Saturday to go watch Iowa's Big Ten home opener for Ben McCollum and the Iowa Hawkeyes versus Maryland, a struggling Maryland team this year. Iowa, without a doubt, took care of business, 83 to 64, and Sturz looked like himself again with 25 points. And yeah, Iowa won, Bryce, but I'm not happy. I'm pissed
Okay.
off. Matter of fact, I'm fucking furious at what I
Really?
witnessed inside Carver Hawkeye Arena Saturday night.
Why? What's going on?
You can say all the shit you want as an Iowa fan about Iowa State and Hilton Coliseum, but you absolutely have to respect it. And I've always done my best to back up Iowa fans. We are nothing like Iowa State fans and their crowd in Hilton.
Oh, man.
My brother, Wesley, and I, season ticket holders for the first time in men's basketball history for Iowa, we got yelled at and told to sit the F down during a 33-15 run for Iowa. Got told to sit the F down by our own fans. And I looked and I said, what? They said, this isn't Kinnick. I'm like, that's the fucking problem.
That is the problem.
They're like, look, everybody else is sitting down. I'm like, that is the problem.
Yeah, get up.
They threatened to call security on us. I'm like, do it. What are they going to do? We're standing up.
You know what you should have said is like, this isn't golf. This is a college sports game.
We said, go home if you want to sit and complain about fans standing up and cheer. What do you expect when you go to it?
Oh, that's despicable. Yeah, you know,
bad.
for all of the
poisoned.
Yeah, for all the shit that Iowa takes, being, you know, a lackluster environment to play basketball games, that might sum it up right there. That might be the issue.
Coach McCollum's been begging fans this season at Carver to stand up, and he's like, we're on runs, and I'm waving everybody up. He's bringing the energy that we've died to have in a coaching staff and a team, and the fans just will not do it. For some reason, there's a poison when it comes to Iowa men's, not women's, Iowa men's home basketball games, and it's as cancerous as I've ever seen something. Sickening to see. I mean, it wasn't just the fans behind us. It was 3/4 of the arena just refused to stand during big plays, trying to give any home court advantage to this team. We
got to use this platform for good, Nate. That has to change. I understand it. You know, I don't love going to professional games and college games and being around somebody that's insane on top of you. But guess what? Like, that's what you sign up for. Like, you want to be a part of the fanaticism. That's what going to these games is all about. So let's use this platform for good and get Carver even more rowdy.
We invested back into this program to make a change in this culture in Carver Hawkeye, and to get told by their own fans to sit the F down.
That's brutal.
During a run. It wasn't just like it was middle of the game, not much happened.
Commercial break.
During a run, you know, when the momentum is building, and that's when you really need the crowd to hop along the energy with you and just this isn't Kinnick.
Yeah.
That is they call it the Carver Knitting Club.
Well, it's not far off. No. And okay, update. What did the student section look like?
Student sections improved. Right. Student sections are right. It's good. It's actually pretty good. Okay. So that is the one pro to Carver this year. It's a step in the right direction, but we got to get these old ass lazy fans out of here. I can't take them anymore. If you don't want to sit and enjoy the game and go crazy and provide entertainment and energy to the crowd that desperately needs it and a rejuvenation of an Iowa basketball program, then get the hell out of here. And sure as hell, don't mock the fans in front of you who are trying to do what the coach is pleading the fans to do.
I promise you, everybody wants to play in a rowdy environment. That is what makes sports fun.
You would never see that at Hilton. Can you imagine me going to Hilton and telling fans to sit down? They would never let that shit fly.
It wouldn't fly. Cameron Indoor.
Jeez.
Can you imagine the Cameron Crazies being the Cameron Knitting Club? No. Okay, Nate, you've seen now the home opener. You've seen a couple games now in Carver going on the road Thursday to Hilton Coliseum. What can we expect? What's the keys to the game for both teams?
So my biggest fear when Iowa played Michigan State was the size matchup, right? It was everyone's expectations, preseason expectation, fear for this Iowa clan. We lack a little bit of size. It's kind of it can be a Missouri Valley built team, but there's talent, there's competitiveness, and there's grittiness for Iowa, and we do match up a little bit better with Iowa State. We do. So that gives me a slight hope that we can keep this game a little bit more competitive than what we obviously did against Michigan State. You know, we got rebounded by 19 boards against Michigan State, well, ultimately led to 15 additional extra points for them. You can't compete with that, let alone at the Breslin Center. If you can cut those rebounds and at least prevent those second chance points and limit Iowa State from their extremely hot 3-point shooting, Iowa can maybe make this a game with 7-8 minutes to go, I think. And you'll ultimately see a Hilton Coliseum and the talent of Iowa State, Momcilovic, outside shooting, Taman Lipsy, one of the most dominant point
Mhm.
guards in the country, take over. If Iowa, especially if Iowa can't make the 3-point basket, we're not going to be able to
Yep.
drive all day in this red hot Iowa State defense team too. It's going to be tough.
I love it. I think you nailed it for me. At least that's what I felt the most hopeless for was the offensive rebounding in that Michigan State game when you feel like you have a great stop and then you give up a second chance opportunity for a layup. Um, yeah, I mean, Iowa State doesn't have quite that size, and hearing from Iowa State fans, they're really excited about keeping Bennett Sturts in check. I'd say if Bennett gets hot, then they're in trouble.
Bennett needs to get hot for Iowa to have a lick of a chance.
Yep.
Michigan State was a top 5 defensive team in the country, and they knew if they took Bennett Sturts out of the game, they were going to take Iowa out of the game. Once
They
Bennett
had him
Sturts
flustered.
they did for the first time. I didn't know it was possible. It is good that he was tested and hopefully learned something from it, because if he can't do anything, it sure as hell looks like Iowa can't do anything. And Iowa State, as we know, or TJ Otzelberger, one of the best defensive teams out there too. So you're going to see two forces of energy, given everything they have, clashing right away. And I could see the game being in a slump right away and no scoring for a while, and then eventually something breaks open. So hopefully Iowa can throw the first couple punches and they can open up the 3-point shooting.
If the opening line spread is at 11 and a half or more, I'm going to hammer the Iowa cover. If it's single digits, I'm going to have to decide what I want to do. But I'll always sprinkle a little bit on the money line, whoever's
Vegas
the
Vegas really likes Iowa this year. I could
yeah.
not believe they were only a 4.5-point favorite at Michigan State. And I said to myself, I'm like, this is one of the best Tom Izzo teams I've ever seen. A
Yeah.
complete lineup, and still kept Iowa at 4.5. And Iowa is, I think, what's their record? Not 8-1. They're 7-2 in covering this year. So I really don't know. It's still hard to tell. This is an incredibly tough ask for Iowa to go in and get the job done. There's no doubt about it.
Yep. Excited for it.
It's going to be a fun one. It's a fun 2-day stretch. And Iowa's got to get at least one of these games. Otherwise, Iowa State does the full CyHawk sweep, which I think would be the first time in history.
Ooh, that'd be brutal.
We got to prevent one at least. So maybe the woman can get it done, or the men can pull some unbelievable upset, because Iowa State is now ranked number 4 in the country, which is kind of bullshit. You go on the road to the number 1 team in the country, you beat them by 23, which is almost an NCAA, ties the NCAA record. You got to be at least number 2, I think.
I think they're up there. I think Michigan looks incredible.
You're right. Michigan should be number 1. Iowa State number 2.
Arizona probably a little bit inflated. Yeah, Iowa State up there in the top 3 for sure after that win.
So we'll see. We'll see how this week goes. It's gonna be a fun one. So buckle up, everybody. All right, we're gonna get to our top 5 segment, part 2 series of ranking the top 5 most irrelevant towns in Iowa. So yes, we did this a couple months back. So there might be some towns left out that you think are irrelevant, but we probably list them on the first time go around. And for the people coming in, if your town's on the irrelevant list, that's not a bad thing. What you got to be worried about is when your town is on the top 5 worst towns. Okay.
Yes, that's
we say irrelevant because we just don't know anybody from there. It's got a good sized population, but what has actually come from there, we're unsure of it. It's uncharted territory most likely. And like, what's this town doing? Who hangs out there? Who's from there? What has it accomplished? We don't know.
fair. Yeah, great assessment. I'm glad you did the precursor there.
And I think this list this time is actually better than my first one.
Okay, that's great. I think mine's probably a little bit worse. Another top 5 list in the crunch time. My first 3 are going to be pretty obvious. The last couple, I think I got some juice.
Okay, let's go ahead. I'll give you the start.
Giving me the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start off with Burt, Iowa. This is a town that's so tiny that it might not even be a legitimate town. Burt is so tiny and irrelevant, and it's just really not even fair. But I had to put it on there because Burt is a hilarious name for a township.
Burt is. I can get from my parents' house to Burt in 5 minutes.
Really?
Yeah,
I love it.
5, 6, 7 minutes in. Okay, so my lists are done by I can make any small town irrelevant.
Correct.
So I do a minimum population of like 4,000 for mine.
Yep.
So so I like this because you'll have a little bit different list in mine. So we're not in the
Yeah,
same
and
situation.
they get bigger. They progressively get bigger and more outlandish. But yeah, Bert had to be on there because I knew one, it was close to where you
You
grew
know
up,
what?
and two,
Out of all the small towns, even though Burt is relevant to my life, it is probably one of the most irrelevant towns. So you nailed it without ever being there.
okay, good.
You really
I knew
did.
that you'd have a little input on this one.
Crazy. It's crazy. If I ever knew somebody in my area that lived in Burt, I'm like, why are you living in Burt? But crazy. Great pick there. All right, Bryce. Number 5 for me is LaPorte City.
Yes. Uh-huh.
What? LaPorte City? Okay. Maybe you're somewhat relevant because you're somewhere in the watershed of Waterloo and Cedar Falls a little bit. I could see that, but like, has anyone ever said, yeah, let's go hang out in LaPorte City tonight?
Absolutely not. And you see that road sign that says LaPorte City, and it just makes you really think about Cedar Falls Waterloo exit, like your exit's coming up. I
That's
think
the
it's one
only
of those
good thing,
simulation towns
right?
that only exist to be as a stop on your way to a real town.
Uh-huh. So, yeah, never met anyone from there either. All right, I'll circle back with number 4. We're going way down southeastern Iowa, Centerville, Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
You might as well be in Missouri at this point. You're so far down there.
Yep.
Well, is there high school, Centerville High School or something? Never heard of anyone ever being from down there. And South Central Iowa it's like little Missouri to me.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's south of Pella. They were in our conference, the Little Hawkeye, for a little while. Then they
Oh, you
moved
know,
on. They were 3A. Yeah, yeah. But
3A.
yeah, they're yeah,
That's all irrelevant there. I didn't even know that.
right. I think speaking of 2009, the kind of the theme of this show, they had a really really good running back in 2009, maybe 2008, and
How the hell you
they
know that?
they could have made the dome, but Pella squashed their hopes. It's kind of the last I heard of Centerville. That might have been their last breath that we crushed out of them.
All hopes and dreams died here in Centerville 2009. So I'm glad you knew a little bit. That's informative to me. Okay, so appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yep. All right, Nate, number 4. This town makes a lot of lists, a lot of times for the best names in Iowa. What cheer? Only a population of 600, so we're increasing population as this list goes on. But like, with that cool of a name, that's the most you could do. Why does nobody live there? I'd want to live in a town named What Cheer.
I'm going to make it relevant on my list because I like the name so much. I think that's cool.
Okay. Yeah, that almost qualifies them as relevant, I would say. But what have you heard that's come out of What Cheer?
For
Other
some
than a
reason,
good T-shirt.
is it? God, where's What Cheer at? Is it by Strawberry Point?
It's off of 80 somewhere. Gosh,
So
no,
I'm
it's
not
more
even close.
central.
Oh, it's more
Yeah.
central. Okay, see, I don't even know where it's at.
Okay, points for irrelevancy then.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they back are on the irrelevancy train. That was your number 4?
Okay,
Or you
that was my number 4. Okay, they're just northeast of Oskaloosa.
So they're south of I-80.
Man, they're too close.
Oh,
close to
shit, dude.
Pella
I
for
go
me to
through
not
What Cheer
know.
all the time. I go through, yeah. All the time I go through What Cheer. Yeah, there's nothing going on in What Cheer.
No.
It's always cloudy there. I swear to God, the sun's never
And
shining.
I always saw the road sign, and this is why it sticks out to me, because I'm like, that's an insane name for a town. So, okay, point for relevancy there. But then I'm like, we're not that far away. Why do I never hear anything from this town?
Yeah. No, I go through it all the time. Can't believe I didn't remember that. Good pick though. Yeah, it's irrelevant.
Do I circle?
Yep, number 3.
Kind of in the same area, Sigourney. Kind of an interesting name, I guess, but otherwise, like, what do you know that's come out of Sigourney?
Nothing. That was Sigourney was going to be my honorable mention.
Okay.
So clearly,
Yeah, number 3 goes to Sigourney. A lot of these towns, Centerville, you listed, we played them in sports. Sigourney's close, What Cheer's close, and it's just like, it's not a lot of notoriety coming from those places.
So usually when we do these top 5 rankings, we have a little background on what we're ranking, obviously, right?
Yeah.
This is to our fact here that we're clearly naming the right towns because we just say what.
Right. Like, I can't name Atlantic because I know that Atlantic has had a good history of football, even if it hasn't been super recently.
I actually had Atlantic on my list at one point and I took them off. So
Yeah.
we might be on something here, Bryce. All right, but now my number 3 is Postville.
Yeah, I love that name too, but it's a shoulder shrug. Like any famous people, any famous businesses, any famous festivals, nothing comes to mind.
What? Postville?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Hmm.
Number 2, Bryce, Muscatine.
Muscatine,
And
Muscastink.
the only thing you could maybe argue about Muscatine being irrelevant versus relevant is that if I had to do top 5 worst town, Muscatine might be on there. So that kind of makes them relevant, right? Because you hate them so much. You talk about them, they're on your head. To me, it's just so bland when I go there. It's a large. He's got 24,
It's
25,000
yeah,
people.
pretty
That
big
size,
town.
it's just, I should have stayed away from the river towns because we say the same shit about every time. It's just always cloudy there, muggy, gloomy. It's just black and white,
Yeah.
just nothing going on there. So I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
fair. I spent one day in Muscatine at Noah Clayberg's soccer tournament. Shout out Noah. That was it. That
I
was
just
it.
I don't want to be there. You know what? I feel bad. I should have put them on. They're more of like a top 5 worst town list.
Okay.
To me, they might be relevant.
You can have Sigourney if you want, or Atlantic. You could throw Atlantic back on
Yeah,
there.
I'll flip it out with Atlantic.
Okay. There we
So
go. Nate, this one might ring a bell. Maybe it doesn't, and I kind of hope it doesn't. You have Tama, known for the Meskwaki Casino, South Tama High School, and it's kind of ugly stepchild, Toledo. You don't hear much about Toledo. Toledo is completely overlooked when you talk about Tama, Toledo. You could just stop at Tama. Toledo
yeah,
doesn't get a lot of love.
yeah. I Toledo's relevant for me because I stop at the gas station all the time on Highway 30
Yep.
there, all
Yep.
the time. But yeah, the only argument point for me is that they're right on Highway 30.
Yep.
Highway 30 can be a little irrelevant though, which
It's kind of, I would say that's a back.
it's
Yeah,
back
that's a
end
back
road.
way
But I
highway.
like it.
Yeah.
That's why I like
Hmm.
Highway 30.
Yep.
But yeah, so I'll say I take it all the time. So yeah, yeah. For your purpose, I can see Toledo can be irrelevant.
Yeah, and mostly just because it's overshadowed. I'm sure there's some things in Toledo. I
They
just
got a
can't think of them right now.
Casey's and a Quick Trip, and that's about all I've
Yep.
ever noticed there.
Yep.
That was your number 1.
That was my number 2.
Okay.
And this is a town. My number 1 is Red Oak, and I don't have a lot of good reasons, but the number 1 reason is because I don't know a lot about Red Oak.
Bryce, my number 1 most irrelevant town in Iowa is Red Oak, and it's
No
not
way.
close. Yeah. How
We haven't had a similar town or a similar number 1 in a very long time.
I mean, it's not even close. I'm glad that we are on the same page here. Red Oak. Who are
6,000
you?
people.
Right? How do 6,000 people live in this town? Who are you? What is their high school? Is it Red Oak High School? There's no way because I've never heard of them ever
Never heard
competing
of
in
it.
anything in the state. Nothing. No show choir. No, never heard of anything. You would think you would hear something Red Oak somewhere, right? So I don't know what their high school name is, but I sure as hell know that nobody has ever actually came from Red Oak, Iowa.
I couldn't believe it. We had this on the first go round of most irrelevant towns, where you're just like, there's so many people here. Maybe it was Council Bluffs. I don't remember, but it's always these Western Iowa towns with tons of population, or more than you would think, and you just have never met somebody from Red Oak.
We need to get some from Western Iowa on this podcast all the time that can give Western Iowa a voice because I know we do a lot of shit on them. We just don't know
Yep.
what's going on over there.
I
I
just
don't
don't
even
know.
know if they exist.
Yep.
Really, Red Oak is crazy. Yeah, after we finished our last list, I was so pissed I didn't put Red Oak on there. Like that's the number 1 most irrelevant town of all time. Like who are
To
you?
me, as soon as you're over 5,000 people, that's a legitimate town.
Yeah.
You've
Oh,
got something going on.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't tell you. What's
Red
the
Oak.
main business? Now I'm just curious.
Ye-
Did you already say you're number 1? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was
Fuck.
what's their
Red
high
Oak, too.
school? Red Oak.
Red Oak High School.
This is good for us. We're learning here.
Red Oak Community School District. Of
Yeah,
course
so it is called. Wow. I was hoping for their benefit of the doubt there was something like Southeast, like some weird school
Yeah.
name that we've actually heard of. No, they're actually
Okay.
called Red Oak High School or Red Oak.
What if you wanted a job in Red Oak? What would you do? You could be a barista at Scooter. Okay, they have a Scooter's Coffee.
Yeah, but everywhere's getting scooter coffees now, so it doesn't make
these
you that
days.
cool. That's
They
crazy.
got a hospital. That's
Oh
good.
Wait.
Tractor Supply, Casey's. TNT
Wait.
Ford.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
Heartland, is that trucking maybe?
Red Oak Community School District. They the Tigers? Red Oak High School. That is insane. They're even more irrelevant than I thought they were, which I did not think was possible.
Hey, Red Oak, if you're out there, give us a sign of life. Something.
All right, that was a good list. I was
fun ending.
I wanted to do this list again just so I can say Red Oak. Like, what is this? Am I seeing this right on my maps? Is it on your maps too? When you pull up Google Maps, does Red Oak appear on your?
Yeah.
It does.
I'm sorry for stealing your thunder. Red Oak to me.
No, I'm pumped.
Okay, good.
I'm pumped. You're. I just making sure I'm seeing what I'm seeing. To me, it's kind of near Villisca. Villisca would be super relevant if it wasn't for one of the most relevant things of all time.
Right. If they didn't have the biggest murder mystery in the entire state, but truly, that's about all they have.
So crazy. Yeah. I'd love to hear someone we ran Iowa Chill for years, thousands and thousands of submissions.
Can I be honest?
In towns.
Red Oak is only known to me because I believe that there's a good amount of submitters, like people that would send in content from.
So you've actually seen it?
I mean, when they send it, it's always like
I've never seen
a figment of my imagination.
I've never seen
it. Looks like every other place in Iowa
from Red Oak. That's crazy. I don't believe it. I might have to have work force me to go there just to see if it's actually a thing.
Now I'm double thinking it. I'm like, have I just said it so many times in my brain that I'm just manifesting it? But
yeah, I would love to hear from anybody there. Like this is our day in life. This is what we do here. I want to study you. I want to learn from you.
A little field trip to Red Oak could maybe heal generations. This was a fun list. I love the first time we did this one, and this lived up to the hype too.
Yeah, good. All right, so shout out to everyone this week. Put your anchors down. You're going to need it Wednesday. 55-mile-per-hour gusts. It's going to be a windy one, people. So, and one of my most hated weeks again too, CyHawk week. I hate this week. I just want it to be over with. I feel a lot better knowing that Iowa State just murdered the number one team. Like, oh, now we can go and if we get our ass kicked, I can't think too much of it. I'm like, well, they just killed the number one team. I hate when it's expected to be somewhat close. That's what builds my tension, anxiety way more. So them doing that helped me out a lot. So I'm not stressed.
If you lose, you're supposed to. If you win, it's a huge win.
Right. Yeah. So
no, fun week for sure. We'll be missing you at the Christmas party, but we'll recap the wedding, the party, everything next week.
Okay. All right. Everyone have a great week.